asking ChatGPT about retention. I should have also asked it about nofap. I just forgot about that. Maybe I'll make that into a separate video, and it's going to probably be interesting. I'm going to try going more in depth on it, but this is with retention. I just touched it real quick, and this is going to be my question. So is like retention a myth? Is there studies done on this? And then it replied with, retention refers to the practice of abstaining from not releasing your seed, either through activity or beating the meat. There are various claims made out about potential benefits or retention, including increased energy, improved mood, and better physical and mental performance. However, the scientific evidence for these claims as limited and inconclusive, which some studies have found that activity and releasing the seed can temporarily lower testosterone levels. There is no clear evidence to suggest that retention provides any significant long-term benefits. Additionally, there are potential risks associated with prolonged periods of retention, such as increased risk of cancer. So this is something that I covered on my channel, that they'll always promote beating the meat, releasing the seed, and they won't talk about, hey, don't retain it. There's not studies done on retaining it. There's only studies done on releasing it, which made me wonder, why is that be? And I think it's one of those things that they're trying to normalize it, trying to make sure that, hey, you should release your seed. And from what I've been seeing, especially like in this generation, they want you to kind of be weak. They don't want you to be thinking for yourself. They just want you to go with the flow, follow the rest of the sheep. And you have to realize that you got to start thinking for yourself. Think about, why is it that they're doing all these studies just on pretty much wasting your seed? Why isn't there studies on retaining your seed? Because like there was one study done on retaining your seed and your testosterone increases, and from ChatGPT it pretty much verified that, hey, right after you release, your testosterone decreases, which that kind of makes sense when you retain. With that study I was talking about, when you retain for 1 to 7 days, essentially your testosterone, it can double up to, it can pretty much double. It could also go up to 150% is like the max part that it can go up to, but essentially that study is like after 7 days, the way how they did it. I also covered some Reddit stories where some people, they tested their testosterone with the testosterone test, and then they tracked it. They tracked the sleep, they tracked the food, what they did and all that, and then at the end of the month they tested their testosterone again, and they noticed that it increased. So I ended up replying to that previous question that I asked about, where I explained about, okay, here are the benefits, here's the downsides. So I put, okay, question for you. I do understand the risk of cancer, but thinking about it, humans aren't meant to reproduce that frequent. So like, are there any benefits to doing retention and the upside? Well, it is true, humans are not necessarily meant to reproduce at a high frequency. There is no scientific evidence to suggest that prolonged periods of retention provide any significant benefits, which obviously, guys, you have tons of guys out there. There are not studies done, but you have tons of guys out there doing retention, and they know that, hey, you start noticing improved mood, improved attitude, you start feeling more vibrant, more energetic, you feel driven, you feel like there's people staring at you, you feel like the world is just like checking you out, and you just become more in tune with it, and you're just more present in the moment. And there's so many benefits to retention, which I think a lot of these studies, they don't even focus on or want to even care about, but it's something that you guys need to understand. Some proponents of retention suggest that it can lead to increased energy, improved mood, and better physical and mental performance. However, these claims are not well supported by scientific evidence, and there are potential risks associated with prolonged periods of abstaining. So essentially it's just giving me the same thing again, but as you guys well know, I also did a poll on my channel, and this is something that you guys could probably find out there as well. Anyways, on my poll, I pretty much asked is, do you believe retention benefits are real? The vast majority of people said yes. About 90% of the people that voted said yes. I think like 3% said no, and then I left a part for maybe, and that was about 7%. So overall, the vast majority of people that voted on this poll agreed with it, but then again, it is biased because a lot of my viewers watch videos on retention, so it's one of those things that you do have to take into consideration. I do understand the biasness on it. If you want to find out if retention is real or not, just go out there, release your seed, and see if you feel drained, feel unmotivated, undriven, and then try going on a streak for 30 days and decide from there. If you last like for 30 days and you hit that 30-day mark, compare yourself from that day one. That day one, honestly, you're gonna feel like really tired, unmotivated, less energy. At that 30-day mark, you're gonna notice that you're more driven, more ambitious, you're more happy, you can think fast on the quicks, and there's a whole lot more of a difference, and you just feel better overall as an individual. This is something that it's a little bit of a taboo topic, but I'm covering it here for you guys. And like how I said, I asked ChatGPT. It had its positives and then it has its negatives as well. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and ask it nofap on the next video for you guys, so it can break all the science for you guys and then also tell you the benefits and the downsides as well. But that's gonna sum it up for this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one.